And the latest in the Astros thing, and, I don't even think people necessarily are, maybe some people are sick of it. I'm still amazed that it's now like baseball players are trying to up the criticism from the last one. Like now, Big Papi, former player, is up there saying, and I think the guy, the pitcher he's a snitch, and why didn't he say it before he got his ring? And I'm Mike Fire said, okay, take my ring. I agree. I was part of it. He didn't say he participated. He said he was part of the team that benefited from it. So it comes down to this. And the more I've thought about it, what do you do? Okay, you suspend them for each player for a certain amount. How many players? Whoever had a bigger split at home gets a bigger suspension, whatever. No, I really think the only way that you end it, that you stop everybody from talking, is to take away their title. And you're like, well, what does that mean? It's just a hunk of metal. Well, no, they do have to remove the trophy from the Astros. Well,
Manfred changed that too, by the way.
I know.
He said the trophy now is important after saying it was just a hunk of metal.
And if you don't think that's a punishment, players, in baseball lore, like no longer on their resumes would it be World Series champion. It wouldn't say that. And in the Hall of Fame 2017 season, vacated champion, Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, you can't name them champion, I don't think, but Dodgers were the runner-up. I think that's the only way, because it's punitive without being unfair. Like maybe one player didn't do it and maybe another one did, but everybody benefited, so everybody loses their title. You want to keep the ring, put it on eBay, whatever. I don't care, but everybody loses the title. I don't think there's any other way it's going to go away.
Well, the ring would be a great keepsake. A World Series for something that you actually didn't win. Uh-huh. Here's what I would say. I think you're dead wrong. And I just think two things. Number one, it started with Cody Bellinger, right? He was really the first kind of player to talk out against it, and he was great. But now you are right. Everybody's taking their shot at the can, and everybody's trying to top each other. And it's really, to me, lost a lot of the luster. Like Big Papi, he doesn't even play anymore. I don't care what he thinks. With that being said, I don't think taking away the World Championship would stop it, because people are still going to be outraged. People like being outraged. And in 2013, when they took away Louisville's championship, they still call themselves champion. The Fab Five still exist despite them taking away their banners. I think taking away the World Series championship at this point, it's just silly.
Baseball.
Hold on. They won the championship. Tell people what happened during that season and move on. I don't think you need to take it away.
Well, baseball is different. Those things, the whole record book thing is holier, number one. And number two, okay, then how do you think it's going to end? You think it'll just never end? And
I think it will just eventually fizzle out.
Resolution in sight?
I think you're going to see some Astros get hit.
Okay, everything does eventually fizzle out.
I really do believe by the time you get baseball started, and the first time the Astros play at home, the first time the Astros play on the road, the first time an Astro gets hit, and then after that, it's more of the same. It's almost like what we just talked about with these comments from various players. None of them mean anything anymore. Bellinger meant something. Now, I hear, I heard Aaron Judge talk about it, and I've heard, to me, it's just, okay, I've already heard this. So I think it's just going to be eventually, couple months, people will get sick of it and move on.
Well, the only people that should be, the people that should be the absolute angriest should be the Dodgers, who lost that World Series in 7 games and got their best pitchers rocked on the road at Houston. They should be absolutely furious. But the thing that ticks off base, and I must admit, I've been somewhat surprised how many people in baseball, players-wise, are bashing away. Normally, they stick together and, hey, unwritten rules, whatever. The amount of them doing it leads me to believe that there isn't necessarily an end in sight. They are really furious. I think it almost makes them angrier that, the managers got fired and the owner got, fined, and they lost their first and second round picks, and not a single individual punishment. Even though that's hard to do, that's what pisses off the players.
Yeah, but I don't know how you're going to do the punishment because, again,
take away their championship.
You never know the story unless you give them the, by saying you're not going to get in trouble. I guess what I would say, if you want to take away the championship, fine. But the memories are already there. They won a championship after a hurricane. I mean,
fine.
It's already out there. I don't think it's going to solve anything. Okay. I still think people are going to be pissed off about it.
Well, wait. If it's not that big of a deal, they still had the memories. They still had a parade and everything fine. But if it's not that big of a deal, why does almost every other baseball player that talks say strip their title? Why? It must be a big deal in baseball. That's the only thing they're offering, right?
True, but you do wonder, and if they want to do it, go ahead and do it. You do wonder, A, how many teams are doing it. We're going to find out about the Boston Red Sox next week, right? And
Correct.
It seems like every player knew this was going on. So you do wonder how many other teams were doing it or something like it. And it is interesting to me. I know the players told the commissioner, and the commissioner never really looked into it. But now the players are yelling and screaming about it when you didn't hear peeps about it publicly when it was actually going on, and other players knew it was going on. I mean, ask the Tigers. The Tigers knew something was going on. That's why they went to Houston, and they changed up their signs, and they made sure that the Astros weren't going to get them. You know what I mean?
Well, some people did say stuff. I don't think they called Rob Manfred on the hotline, but they did to warn everybody else. You know what they're doing. No, you're right. Somebody should have said, "Excuse me, teacher."
No, I mean,
these guys are cheating.
I'm not blaming the players that are speaking out, but it's almost like, all right, he did it, so I'm going to do it. And I get to criticize a commissioner, and I get to yell and scream, and I get to bitch about it. I don't think taking away a championship is going to change that.
I think what it does is it takes away some of the Astros' arrogance. That's what pisses. They asked early on their apologies. They were like, "Okay, we're moving on. Yeah, I wish I'd done something different, but we're moving on." They were too arrogant about it, too, like getting off scot-free. I already have immunity. Say whatever you want. That's what's pissing off other players.
Did you see Josh Reddick?
What did he say?
See what he essentially said? F it. We're going to prove that we're the best team. But then today it comes out, because the Mike fires and the death threats, today it comes out that Josh Reddick puts out on Twitter, he puts out a video of his 5-month-old twins on social media. And people responded, quote, "I hope your kids get cancer, and I will kill your, blah, 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 blah." So that's what he's dealing with. Did you hear about Kate Upton? Kate Upton posted a ton of stuff on Instagram. They call it the gram, the kids these days, Wojo. Yeah. Kate Upton posted a ton of stuff, and every comment was, "Verlander's a cheater. Your husband's a cheater. Your husband's a filthy cheater." So, I mean...
So you think this is just going to go quietly into the night?
I think eventually, yes. Don't you?
I think it'll go quickly.
Once it runs its course.
Quicklier and quietlier into the night if you take away the title.
Quicklier.
Mm-hmm. And quietlier, too.
Is that a word?
Mm-hmm. It is now.
Will taking away the championship...
Let's take a call before we go to the break. Let's get the people
involved. Get rid of this scandal. Make it go away. Go ahead. Pick any of them. We got all the lines filled. That's what we do. We're great radio hosts.
All right. Ticket text 97136. Phone number 248-539-9797. Let's go to the one that starts with Wojo is right. Gene, you're on 97.1 The Ticket. Hello there, Gino.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Sure.
Wojo, you're right. That team cheated as a team. They won the series cheating as a team. They should have that series championship stripped from them as a team.
Correct.
I mean, it doesn't matter if it goes quietly in the night or quickly in the night. It matters that they get their championship stripped.
Right.
You know what? It infuriates me. I'm getting ready to give up on MLB because the commissioner won't do a darn thing. They're corrupt, and if nobody does anything, you're going to find teams later on going to do it better and quieter and sneakier.
Hey, Gene.
They need to do something. Yeah?
I'm just curious. Obviously, you're fired up about the cheating scandal like everybody else, and that's fine. So if Manfred tomorrow says, "I'm taking away the title," so what? Is there like a comb go over you now? You're not upset anymore? I mean, the Dodgers still got effed.
No, I'm going to still be upset that they cheated to get the championship, but the fact is that there should be a punishment to it. Right. And people will remember, everybody remembers Shoeless Joe. This will go into the history, and people will remember that the Astros cheated to win the championship and had it stripped away.
Absolutely, Gene, you said it perfectly. There's a stain, a tangible one, other than your name not being under World Series champion. Nobody's saying. And then the other thing, Gene brought it up, and it's true. It's not just fans want to see more punishment. Fans have already been PO'd and alienated by baseball over time, and they feel like here's another one, just like steroids. The cheaters got away with it. And I do think it's important to the fans, too.
You know what's great about baseball? When you look back in the record books of all the scandals, you can tell the stories to the people that don't know. This 5, 10, 15, 30 years from now is going to be the same exact thing. The Houston Astros cheated. So did other teams potentially as well. And they won the World Series out of it. You can take away the World Series or not if you want, but it doesn't matter because they still won it. They're still World Series champions.
No, they're not.
But if you want to take it away, by all means, go for it. 97 win the ticket.